Take Saturday off, this Saturday. Go have lunch, go have dinner, go shopping. Try to go a whole day without having bad service. It can't be done. And the problem is, as consumers, we allow this to happen. We allow bad service. Well, first of all, you have to understand that I have no original ideas. Nothing. There is nothing new in sales or customer service. This stuff is 70 years old, 100 years old. A friend of mine, his name is Robert Shook. He wrote a number of business books. Maybe you've read some of them. The IBM story, the Mary Kay Cosmetics book, the Honda American Dream, the Ford turnaround. This is his line. If you copy one person's stuff, that's called plagiarizing. You copy 50 people's stuff, that's called research. I am full of research. There's nothing new. So what do is we copy everybody else and just turn it around and regurgitate it. But it all comes down to basic stuff that we all know. But here's a fun thing just to think about. Put your hands, if you're wearing a watch, put your hands over your watch and don't look at your watch. I want you to be honest here. Think about your watch. Does it have Roman numerals, slashes, dots, nothing? Now take a look at your watch. How many of you are wrong? Be honest. Okay, not a smart group, but a nice group. Okay. You look at your watch 4 to 5 times a day to see what time it isn't. It's not 10 o'clock yet. It's not time for this Becker guy to be done. If we don't even know what's on our own watch, what else are we not paying attention to? Our friends, our families, our clients, our customers. We're going through life so fast, we got to slow down. We got to slow down and see our customers. We got to slow down to just talk to people a little bit longer. Here, I'll prove it. I'll start right now. That was 15 seconds. Imagine taking an extra minute, 2 minutes for each customer on the phone. And this is my only original term. I've got one original thought, and this is it, so I'll give it to you now. It's called Poof Management, and that's spelled P-O-O-F. And here's what happened to all of you. Poof, you're a manager. Poof, you're a manager. Poof. And we haven't learned the right way. So that's very important. And especially managers in customer service. I go into some big companies and the manager's right in their office. What about walking around or sitting next to the people on the phones, listening to the way they answer the phone? Listen to the way they're talking to the customers. Again, one person involved for everybody. But we don't see it that way. We manage paper better than anybody else. We don't know how to manage people. How many of you are in management? All right, and here's what happened to all of you. You either did one of two things, a good job, or the person ahead of you got right size, down size, left size, quit, fired, whatever, and then the promotion fairy came by and went, bing, you've been promoted. Whatever job you were in beforehand was either sales, administration, clerical, and your job is to think about who? Yourself, right? And then the promotion fairy came by and you got promoted. The next day when you show up for work, you got to do a complete 180, change your thought process, and when you show up for work tomorrow, you've got to put the whole team first. Who's training any of you to do that? Nobody. So what do you start doing? What you think is best. I'm on the way to the airport, and I hear a great song on the radio, a great song, and I got to stop in to get this, I go to the wall, and I got the rack, the CD rack there, pull it off, and we'll just call the place Brain Dead Electronics. You figure it out later. And so I go to the counter, and the two women are talking to each other. Who's ever had this happen? Okay? And so you do one of these things. And they still ignore me. It's like a toot on the horn, when you're behind somebody, you give it a little bit louder toot. I said, excuse me, can you ring me up? And they give me the look, like, how dare you interrupt our conversation? And they continue to talk. Excuse me, can you ring me up, please? So now she rings me up, and they're still talking. And now to slow me down, you know how you see the nickels, dimes, quarters in the drawer? She's breaking open new rolls just to slow me down. Now, before we go any farther, we have to take a vote. Do we vote to ruin her day, or do we let her ruin my day? What do you guys vote for? That's what I voted for, too. Now, before I go any farther, please understand, I am not an evil little man. Okay? What are you clapping at? Look how big I am. No. So now this is the only other flash of brilliance in my life. Seriously, I had the one, which I told you about, and this is the second one. So I'm walking out of the store, and I'm getting mad. Like, how do they treat me like this? All I want to do is buy a CD. So I turn around, and I get this idea. So I walk back in, and I see her name, whatever her name is. I said, Debbie, my name is John Leaf. See, my friend John, what he does, he always uses my name. Every time he calls these sports stations, these radio stations, has the wrong, stupid answer. What's your name? Hal Becker. So I'm getting calls. Hal, I heard you on the radio. It wasn't me. So my name is John Leaf. That's L-I-E-F. And I am from the Brain Dead Electronics Corporate Super Shoppers Program. And this is the worst service we've ever seen. You've been shopped. And let me tell you something. Today, right now, this instant is your last day. I'm going to the car. I'm calling headquarters. I'm going to have the exit paperwork filled out. I want you to parade yourself in your manager's office and tell them, Mr. Leaf, that's L-I-E-F, was here from corporate because you're gone now. And she's like, no, you shouldn't butt me. You don't treat customers this way. Now, as I'm walking out, she can't see me, but here's what I'm doing. Yes, yes, yes. And I think, oh, hell, you're so mean. Here's what's going through my head. Here's what she's going to do. In the manager's office, Mr. Leaf was here from the Corporate Secret Super Duper Secret Shoppers Program. Who? Mr. Leaf? From the where? From the Corporate Secret Shoppers. We don't have a Mr. Leaf. What are you talking about? From the Shoppers Program. What Shoppers Program? We don't have one. What are you talking about? Nothing. We got to be talking about something. No, nothing. Well, no, there's something had to go on, Debbie. Please just tell me what. No, nothing. And either way, she's in trouble. Yeah. Now, that's part of the book. The next part is what they should have done. What they should have done is simple. This woman should leave and go work for the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Here you can have a job for life, and you can be nasty. We don't care. We're expecting it. But if you want to have an incredible company, you have to have a triple win. If you do these three things, you're guaranteed great service. Number one, the customer has to win. I don't know about you, and I have a problem. If I did what I was supposed to do, I paid for the present or the gift or the product, or I paid for the service, I expect it. But if all of a sudden something happens, I'm the bad guy, wait a minute, I did my end of it. So number one, you must empower the employee to take care of the problem. If the employee takes care of everything, don't they feel great about themselves? Imagine that housekeeper, busboy, I'll take care of that for you, sir. Really? Wow. They feel great. Number two, I feel good because I wasn't bounced around. I wasn't like, go see this person. Now it's my fault that I have to do all this. I didn't do anything. I just wanted a good service. So number two, make the customer feel important and take care of it. Number three, the entity wins, the corporation. If these two things, if they're solved right away, I want to do business with you more. That's called a triple win. Very important. To be fair, I said, okay, who are the 10 best companies in the world? Who are the best companies in the world? Now, of course, there's more than 10, but since the book was written for a worldwide audience, I had to pick different industries. So I like Disney and LL Bean and Ritz-Carlton and Nordstrom and Callaway Golf Club's a personal favorite, Little Debbie Snack Foods, and whatever the 10 all totaled up. And I had to call the 10 CEOs because I had to ask, I said, here are 6 questions. Now, it's hard to get a hold of the CEOs, obviously, but I told their executive assistant, I said, look, I got 6 questions. You can answer them now. You don't have to answer them. I'll fax them to you. There's no hidden agenda. Not even going to use your name. It's going to say Q&A. But I don't want to go lower down the food chain. So I go lower down the food chain. You might get the wrong answers. All 10 answered the questions, but here's what blew me away. All 10 answered 2 questions identically. And I had no idea what the answers were going to be. The first one was, what is the most important element you look for when you hire people? Guess what all 10 said? It's the interactive part again. Attitude. They all said attitude. And I said, number 2, what are your policies and procedures regarding customer service? Guess what all 10 said? I'll give you a hint. It's the old Nike slogan. Just do it. Just take care of the employees. Just do it. Pretty simple stuff. Here, I'm going to show you something. Just a regular dollar bill. Nothing fancy. If you know what this is called? It's called a trick. The phone is ringing. First time I ever saw this trick, I was blown away by this. I saw a speaker do this. Wow! So I got the trick, And I got a large audience, and I'm trying the trick, and I got this dollar, and guess what? Can't wait to do it in front of this audience. Oh, shoot, hold on. Darn! So I got about 4 hours to fly home like this flight today. I'm sitting in the seat, the guy next to me, 4 hours to practice, can't figure out what I'm doing. A couple of flight attendants are walking down looking at this. One of the pilots came out. Hopefully it was right seat. I had 4 hours to practice this. I started practicing it. And guess what happened after I practiced it for a while? I got it down. And all this is practice. Just like customer service. All you got to do is practice being good in customer service, being nice to people. You got to remind yourself to be nice to people. So I put a card on your table. If you follow this card, this is all you need. In fact, I need one. This is all you need to do on customer service. Why I put this on a card is very simple. We're going to forget what we talked about. Take this card, put it in your daily planner, attach it to a computer, put it in your mirror, put it on your visor in your car, something where you need that reminder of how to be nice. So if you follow these 3 things in customer service, this is it. Number 1, understanding. Customer service is not what you think it is, it's what the customer thinks. Remember going to that restaurant having bad food or bad service? And then the server goes, well, how about a free dessert? Well, maybe you're diabetic and now you go into a coma. Maybe you don't want a free dessert. Maybe they should just ask, what can we do for you? That's all you have to say is, what do you want? Number 2, being creative. Customer service is doing more for the customer than the customer expects. Do more for the customer. Imagine if you're going to tell someone like Palm Pilot, we'll get it there in 2 days, and it's there in 1 day. Or you take your car in for service, and they say, well, it'll be ready at 4 o'clock, but it's ready at 1 o'clock. What can you do to go above and beyond the customer's expectations? Number 3, realize that the customer might not always be right, but they're in charge. Who's ever heard the line, the customer's always right? The customer's never right. They're usually dead wrong. But they're in charge. You tell the customer no, here's what you can say to their business. Remember the little rascals? What's this? Hey sign, goodbye, see you business. And in fact, when we had our company Direct Opinions, I used to look for what I call creative opportunities. We looked for problems. We looked for our customers to have a problem. Because if they had a problem, any little thing, we went above and beyond it. We were able to satisfy them. And there's 2 more lines on this card, to me the most important lines. Number 1, customer service is asking, not telling, listening, not talking. Don't tell the customer what you're going to do. Ask them. And this is the most important. People buy from people.